Hello and welcome to Newsmax Health on Newsmax TV. I'm John Bachman, and joining us now in studio is Fran Sherman. She is a licensed psychotherapist. Fran, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thanks so much, John. It's great to be here.
All right, so we're talking about the presidential election and the impact that it's having on people's mental health and also their actual physical health as well.
Right.
You have some coping strategies. We're talking about what some people call the most important election in history. And it's also, of course, been one of the most negative in history. How is this impacting people at home?
Absolutely. I mean, I think people really are talking about all the negativity, and we've had so much negativity in our personal lives. People have lost their jobs, their homes, they have no money. I mean, people have really, really struggled, and now hearing all the negativity out there all the time is really, really affecting people, making them feel sad, making them feel anxious, and like wanting to scream, stop all the noise. It's really hard.
And how do these feelings of anxiety carry over to cause other health problems?
Anxiety is a really serious issue, regardless, despite the mental health issues. It can increase your blood pressure. It increases your heart rate. It can make you sleep too much or sleep too little. Not function at your optimum, not eat or eat too much. I mean, it really affects everything that we do. It affects the way our brain functions.
And when people come to you with these feelings of anxiety, what are some of the best coping strategies you recommend?
I recommend a lot of different things. One thing that really is very easy is just focusing on your breathing. It's breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And really what you do is when you focus on your breathing, you're thinking about your breathing, so that's completely benign. And then you're also bringing down your blood pressure, your pulse rate, your respiration rate, so it really does physically make you relax. That's one really simple way. Another thing I tell people is to kind of change the program in your brain, so to start to think about positive things instead of whatever it is that you're thinking about. Replace those thoughts. So I personally try to think about my son's smile. When I think about his smile, I smile, it's just natural. So it's sort of think, feel, act. If you think positively, you feel good, and then your actions precede that. Again, it's difficult in this time, it really is, and it's very hard work to replace those thoughts, but it's really imperative.
Thinking back to these political conventions, you really see the emotional impact that some of these figures can have on people, some people crying, really having a truly emotional reaction. Do you think sometimes that people maybe put a little too much stock in politicians as far as how it impacts their own lives?
You know, one of the things that I hear absolutely is that people think it's a big show and they don't necessarily believe everything that everybody says, but yes, people do put lots of stock into their candidate, their party, what they believe, and they really do become overwhelmed. And I think the problem is that it's become so divisive, and that really makes people even more anxious and more angry, and they're arguing with their neighbors, and it's very hard.
And so then do you direct those folks to say maybe you should focus a little bit more on the things you actually can control in your own life?
Absolutely, because obviously we can't control all the noise that's going on out there. The only thing we can control is ourselves. So I really tell people that control what you're doing to make your life better. If you don't have a job, focus on thinking positively about getting a job, because when you go for an interview, you have to present yourself in a positive manner. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to hire somebody who doesn't act or is perceived in that way. So it's really what you put out there, you get back, and it's really focusing on you, your family, and what you can do to change your own life.
Based on the poll results we have right now, about half of the population is going to wake up the day after Election Day happy, and half the population is going to wake up disappointed. What do you tell folks moving on past the election how to deal with these feelings? You
know, that's such a great question, because it's really true. I mean, I think that what we can do and what we should do as people in a country is sort of just rally around who is elected, because it's really important for ourselves not to focus on being sad and being disappointed, because we can't take it back. We can't go back to the day before Election Day. We can only move forward, and that's all we can do in our lives is move forward. So I think we have to focus on, okay, this is what happened, and now what am I going to do to make my life better? Because that's all we can do.
All right, Fran Sherman, a licensed psychotherapist, thanks so much for being with us here at Newsmax Health today.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. And thanks for watching Newsmax Health.